Hello everybody, my name is Auriga, playing some Battlefield 3 on the PC, and today we're having another episode of Would You Rather. So let's just start out strong with a very good one. So would you rather live in a foreign city and not know the language, or live on an island alone? And well, this really depends. Am I gonna live here for the rest of my life? Because living in a foreign city for the rest of my life without knowing the language, I could imagine I'd have some fun times, but most of the time I'd probably have a hard time. And living on an island alone, man, I just got associations with the TV series Lost. Immediately like, okay, I'll just be hunting animal, eating exotic fruits, and just chilling on the beach, in my little shed. So that's really a romantic visualization I get. So I'll probably stick to living on an island alone. Yeah, definitely. That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, so would you rather be punched in the face with brass knuckles by Mike Tyson, or punch a toddler and be seen by thousands of people? Okay, so I don't think it's any fun to get punched in the face by Mike Tyson, even if he's wearing boxing gloves, okay? But punching a toddler and having everybody see you, thousands of people, you'd go straight to fucking YouTube and be lynched as some sick freak, and you'd probably also get a prosecution in the courts, because there'd be people having videotaped you. So I'd probably just take that one beating from Mike Tyson and hope that my skull piece wouldn't explode. Yeah, that's probably how it's gonna go down. Okay, so would you rather live in a homeless shelter with internet access, or live in an amazing home isolated from any outside contact? I don't know what I would use an amazing home for if it's isolated by any contact. I mean, I need the internet. I'd chill out with hobos every day just so I could upload to YouTube, okay? So that's a pretty easy one. Okay, so would you rather watch only dramas for the rest of your life, or watch only comedies for the rest of your life? Well, that is an easy one. I'm not really a big guy on dramas and a lot of other uh, genres of television. I like comedy, action, and I like gore. Okay, I like horror and gore and blood everywhere. Okay, so I like those a lot. I like the mix of psychological terror and also torture in horror movies, I guess. But from drama and comedies, I definitely choose comedies. We got a little off topic there. Okay, so would you rather perform petty thievery for a living, or perform grand larceny for a living? So I guess grand larceny is like a bigger deal. And well, petty thievery, like you can make a lot of money by just robbing, gas stations and so on. And it's not like you'd have a huge spotlight on you. There would only be like, well, there's this guy going around robbing gas stations. Like, what the hell's his problem? But yeah, I'd probably perform petty thievery for a living. I don't want to go to jail. Grand larceny sounds pretty serious. So would you rather have met Jesus, or have met Confucius? And if I remember correctly, well, Confucius and Jesus, well, just because I'm an atheist, I think I'm gonna go with Jesus. Just Jesus definitely lived. There's quite a lot of proof to support that theory. But I like to go back in time and see what kind of gypsy he was, how he performed all his tricks and so on. I guess he just really, I don't think he was any kind of magical, like some people make him up to be. I think he was just like the first street artist of his time. By street artist, I mean people ripping you off. You know what I'm talking about. Let's move on just a little. So would you rather ride in a hot air balloon, or ride in a hovercraft? That's pretty easy. I mean, hot air balloons exist, and they're pretty dangerous, at least if a flaw occurs. Then there's the topic of hoverboards or hovercrafts. They don't really exist, I guess, in experimental, like in experimental states somewhere underground in America and China and something like that. but I definitely want to try something futuristic out like that. I mean, who wouldn't? Would you rather drink tea or coffee? Well, I guess if it's the rest of my life, I'd go with coffee. I'm not a big addict of either tea or coffee, but of those two, I really like my coffee. If you walked into a room, would you rather have everyone stare at you in disgust or have everyone look away in disgust? Um, there, I hope there'd better be a real good explanation for an entire room of people just staring at me in disgust. I mean, that's a pretty strong feeling. Like, am I covered in shit or something? Um, but yeah, I think I'd have them stare at me instead of looking away, because that way I could see that all these people think something's wrong with me. I'd then go ahead and check if I'm smeared in shit, and if I'm not, I would probably loudly ask them all at once, like, "What the hell's your issue, man? Why do you look at me this way?" I mean, it's pretty fucking random to step into a room and have everybody stare at you in disgust. So yeah, I'd totally go with the first one. Okay, let's move on. So, for the rest of your life, would you rather live in a Toyota Prius or live in your bathroom for the rest of your life? Well, if I were to live in a Toyota Prius, it would only be a matter of time before let's just say, the amount of waste would stack up to such a degree where I'd either start rotting because of the contact with that filth, or I'd simply get, I don't know, smothered in the smell. So I'd probably go for the bathroom because in there I'd only need supplies, and I wouldn't need to think of a way to get rid of all that filth. Anyways, that was a pretty bad one. Let's move on. Would you rather have a huge head and a small neck, or a huge neck and a small head? Well, I guess that there's an issue if you have a huge neck, a huge head and a small neck, that you'd easily break your neck. You'd look like a bobblehead or something, and I wouldn't want that. So I'd probably go with like a beefy neck, on steroids, like a huge neck just pulsating from its force, and then have a tiny little head attached. Because the size of your brain doesn't determine the intelligence of your person. That doesn't have to do with the size of your head or your brain. It's difficult to explain. Um, but let's move on. Would you rather be extremely unattractive or be extremely attractive but have a hand that smells perpetually like poop? Um, Well, I discussed the thing with my hands before, that I really need them for pretty much all my joys in life, like uh, playing video games, playing all the instruments I play, and yeah, I wouldn't want to have a hand that perpetually smells like poop, and I consider myself to be pretty damn attractive, anyways. But yeah, I guess I'd just go with extremely unattractive in that case. See how that's like. I wouldn't want a hand that smells like poop all the time. That's pretty messed up. Would you rather live with Hitler for 3 years or live with Saddam Hussein for six? I guess I'd live with Hitler for 3 years. I mean, value, or I mean, taking these two persons up against each other, and doing it as if they're, this is one kind of evil and this is another kind of evil. I think personally that Saddam Hussein might actually be a bigger sadist and more evil as a person than Hitler. The thing with Hitler is just that he had a lot of supporters, and well, Saddam Hussein had as well, but he had like an entire country, and he started taking more and more countries over. Anyways, I think that Hitler wouldn't be anywhere near as difficult to live with as Saddam Hussein, because I think that Hitler didn't really hate these people like Saddam Hussein hates Americans or hated Americans. I think that this was just Hitler's way of thinking. These were lesser people, at least in his mind. So yeah, I'd go with living for that dude for 3 years and then break his neck on the first day of moving in, I guess. If that would even do anything to the course of history. Anyways, would you rather only write in cursive or only type in caps? Okay, I think I'd only type in caps. That's because nobody can understand cursive. And if I were only able to write in cursive, I wouldn't be able to type on the internet. And yeah, going in all caps just means listen to me, okay? Like I have something important to say, or I'm frustrated. Anyways, it just it makes people see your text, well, with a better likelihood of seeing other texts when it's in all caps. So I'd go for that. But we hit the 10-minute marker, so that's the end of this episode. Subscribe and all that shit if you wanna, stay tuned on this series. And my name is Auriga. It's been a pleasure. See ya.